Hello Blender folks, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Gnomes and this is more live streaming on this rigging thing. Sorry, I'm having some trouble with the windows here. They don't want to collaborate with the setup. I don't know how to automate this thing yet. And I have to show the chat in the side here. Let's get some background music somewhere here, and then that's more like it. Okay, so no, not everything is ready. Now everything is ready. Okay, so basically, where were we at? This is number 3 of this work of the eyes expressions, right? So I forgot something. There are, I believe in this presentation here I will be able to finally use these Blender stuff, utilities, some visual references for facial expressions in CG. Yes, will be this. So at least for the eyes, right? I'll try to reproduce some of the expressions here. I don't have all in my mind for some reason, maybe lack of practice in doing that. So I draw characters, so I draw a lot of expressions, but there's a long time I don't draw a lot, so maybe that's also one of the reasons. If one asked me, what are all the set of facial expressions your characters can do? I don't know. I just would. There are sounds, of course, but to map everything, it's actually more complicated than it seems. So that's why I use this reference here. There could be way more than those, but so if I'm able to reproduce all these expressions here, like just some sets of expressions for the eyes at least, then because I don't have mouth rig yet, a full mouth rig to do all this stuff, so I will have in the future, then this means that my eyes rig for facial expression in CG will be good. Probably I won't be able to do this for everything this time, because to solve these expressions properly, it means that I have to have a lot of success in the rigging things here, and this can take a lot of time. So it is possible. So for example here, I would like to make this thing smoother, like there's some, this thing is, how I say, curving in a bad way. This shouldn't be like that, and if I solve that, let's say it's perfect, this doesn't mean that all the expressions for this character would be ready. I will have still to assess the expressions from posing and see what we can do. Then I could probably start adding some pose assets, right? Currently I have the eyes open expression. That's the only thing that it's a rest pose. It's just that I reset, right? It's not even an asset, a pose asset yet. It could be. It's actually a good idea that it be, but or maybe not. Don't know. Anyways, so yes, the eyelash is not respecting very well the things. I have to adjust that. But I remember that what I needed to fix before I address anything about the eyelashes would be the eyelids expressions. That means, let's get the mesh. Let's hide this thing here, top and bottom eyelashes. Also, let's hide something there which is not required, would be in the way. And so what I need to do now is to address, okay, this will be showing all the time. So what we're gonna do is, I have a modifier here, hold on, Okay, so just for now we're hiding the eyelashes, so I can, as I pose here the eyelids, I have at least, so probably this is wave painting. In a great deal it's wave painting. This wave painting for the eyelids has nothing to do with the eyelash, so in this rig, so I can totally work only for the eyelids mesh. So I need a pose where I can probably wave paint all this collapsed mesh, right? So it was my choice. I'm repeating this over and over again, but it's fundamental in case you're watching right now from here and don't know the context. I've decided to make a rest position with all the mesh collapsed there. The advantage is that I don't have to make this collapse. I don't have to cheat for collapsing this mesh. It automatically collapses as we move up, right? However, on the counterpart, posing a simple eyes rest pose might not be so simple to produce. Well, without the eyelashes it looks like simpler, right? But it's probably not very good. You see that the bone has to go a lot downwards. It's not very good. It should, I would like that the mesh followed closely. So this is probably just wave painting, but the cool thing already that I am able to assess right now is that actually, except for this, I don't know, I'll have to investigate what's happening there. This might just be because of the mask modifier. Let's see if that's true. No, there's a gapping forming there indeed, a concavity in the mesh, so I will have to visualize what's going on there. I think I see what's going on there. Okay, so if I unhide it is as this thing is. Okay, so this gives me an idea. What if I dissolve this? It's dangerous, but we can, let's save and dissolve that. And of course let's because there are subdivisions, so this shouldn't be an area that requires a lot of subdivisions. The shape on this curve seems well enough. Maybe that was a positive development. This is doing that because of the eyelash. So if we're showing the eyelash, this doesn't seem to be a problem if we hide it, so this is important to take into account. With that subdivision how they say, suppressed, deleted, that part of the mesh seems to be, of the eyelid seems to be working properly, right? So this is an easy fix. Simplifying the mesh, and there seem to be, yeah, still some small issue there. Maybe we don't even see this in a bit of I'm a bit concerned. We'll try to visualize what's that. But okay, so already something there solved well. Let's see for the bottom part. The bones are on the way, so I'm growing tired of this. Let's make some, I think I have a cube. Do I have a cube custom shape? I'm gonna look for that. Custom shapes, they are all in this original folder, and it should be named empty cube. I have. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one as a widget for these bones. I think that's how they do in Blender, in many Blender rigs, or I think I've seen that from, how they name it, Blender Studio. Yes, Snow character. I think Rigify add-on also, I think, have those things. It's just me that I don't have a lot of practice in this, so I'm gonna just copy that idea and Alt. No, I think I need hold Alt here. Oh, okay, first let me. It's always annoying, I forget this. It never starts enabled. Okay, so Alt, Control V, Alt Enter. There we go. So apparently we should do that, right? Maybe this helps. It'll be time to change these bones colors, right? Some bones seems to have disappeared, right? I think they go too small, so I'm not gonna use this. Let's try to yeah, so I'm not using this for whatever reason. I just gonna see what I can do with this. Some of the bones seems to have, yes, they might have other values there, so instead of doing this, let me just do this manually. No, Alt, then okay, so it was the last one. Alright, this is getting better. And color, yes, those bones. Let's see. Let's give these some helper. Well, they have already a different color, right? Let's reduce this slightly more. No, not like that. What if I... Okay, this looks like interesting. At least we see the flow. Maybe it's not a good idea, but being cubes make them look more organized, but this gives them a special identity. Maybe I should also change their... What about this? Yes, this seems workable. Also because they are bendy bone sets, the idea is that we can rotate them, so this gives some idea of a flow. But what if we should consider that they would be like things to be twisted? The idea of flow should work for now. And what if we made them flat? Maybe this isn't gonna be a very good idea. Like, let's just try. Yeah, why not? They're flat, they seem... That looks... Yeah, okay, that seems fine. Workable. Alright, and then for these ones we could leave them as cubes. The problem with cubes is that we do not see their orientation. So for example, if it's tilted like that, maybe we don't see. So maybe we don't want cubes anyways. The color, yeah, the color. So for these ones, I'll risk some... Actually, let's give these ones a different color. And actually they have this. No, thank you. Let's reset all these things. 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Now they are just like cubes. Let's put them very long, elongated. So I think they would keep that. Let's see. That's the pattern there, right? So let's keep them more elongated, but let's flatten flatten them out. Same idea here, maybe 0.01, but we'll make them also very flat here, maybe even more. Not flat, thinner, 0.02, something like that. Yeah, they are hard to visualize, so let's compress them. Maybe that's too much. And they are barely visible in that color, so let's give them another bone group color. Something like, could use this of the helper bones, right? And these, it's confusing for me. Not good enough here, so maybe what if do I have anything better? This not, and the idea that these are too close is also a bit confusing. Should I give them a deform color? Makes no sense. Master thing. This reddish color, no. The shapes are too similar, right? Not helping a lot. So let's make those squares then. Finally, let's give them. What about this color? Oh yeah, this one is more evident. Let's turn them into squares there. So where is the, it's more unlikely that because this stay like aligned this way, it will be harder to see. Okay, so 0, and there we go. So but that's too much, so let's do something like that instead. Let's copy this. Okay, this looks a good proposition for now. We can make reassessment of all these widgets later. What I don't want to do is like, oh, I've checked individually all the expressions. No, what I want to do is to take screenshots of all funny expressions I can do, cartoon expressions, with the whole kit of this rig. So this is why I need to address this. Yeah, let's hide all the other bones for now. The other side, but these are left-sided bones. All right. And so what else we need here? These are not posable bones, so we're just looking at them. These are control bones for the eyelids. Maybe they are too large here. Let's make some adjustments on those cubes. Maybe something like 0, something like that. And the idea, should we leave these as cubes? These are slightly more dramatic than these ones. They have a tendency to stay in a horizontal orientation, not totally, right? Like this one, it's diving, just like this. This one also is very, so maybe we could work with some elongation as well of their y-axis, something like that, but not too much. Just something like slight differentiation. What about this? No, that's too much, so 12 maybe. Yeah, but then they'll start to get, at least in this rest position, so let's leave at 1. And we can also flatten them out. Maybe this is not a bad idea. Should we flatten them from this or from Not sure which axis should be the right one, so let's try this one. Halfway. I think the other would be better, so yeah, alright, so like bricks. Alright, so here we can assess some already many eyelids expressions taken at least individually, right? Let's use the... okay. So got some improvements on the... yeah. So this is not being smooth enough. And I think we'll have some... lot of work to do here. Alright, so let's try to... yeah, I have to show the bottom one because sometimes there are some waves here from the up and down, from the upper eyelid mesh that influence there in the corners, especially the corners are important area. They can share some waves there, it's okay. But sometimes we can make mistakes. Because the way I'm protecting the eyelids mesh is just a singular... okay, so first of all I'll have to use this thing. So I'm protecting now a lot of mesh here. Let's just select the per material. Here, and there are seams also. Alright, so this is the mesh I'll be working on, and I need to have a selection for the eyelids mesh only. There it is. It's all collapsed mesh, so I cannot wave paint it from... so if you look at that, there's something wrong there. I cannot... yeah, I cannot hide the... I cannot hide the way I did. Well, I should be able to do that. Why? This... I select seam. Okay, I'm selecting behind, alright. This is correct. Let's address the other one. Hide, this is correct. And then something wrong happened in the last one. That I've hidden the... some of the mesh of the eyelids. Okay, not the case. Now it's working. Let's save now. And let's go back now. Oh, the selection, of course. Eyelids mesh. So I could have eyelids mesh top and bottom, so I could... this could be interesting, so let's work on that actually. Why haven't I done that before? Alright, let's do some work there. So basically... oh, why I'm doing that? It's useless. I just need to give this something like that. And then sort by name. There we go. Then we have these hides. They are just for hide stuff. Eyelids mesh. So actually what we're gonna do is that it will be B eyelids top, and the other would be eyelids bottom, right? So what I need here, it would be a hard selection to make. Not hard, just annoying. Yeah, so alright, hold on. let's deselect that. Okay, so they will be sharing at least one, I guess. Let me remember where is the... Let me remember where is the top eyelash. Hard to see here, but I think... Okay, hard to see here, but I believe that it will, yeah, that one will be the one to be shared, like this big one. So this one I'm certain, and this one not certain, but it should be that. So what I do here is I assign, then I go back on the... Let's check, it seems right. Let's lock this. Now let's pick this eyelids mesh bot, and we have to unlock it. And yeah, we could already put that. It would, by alphabetic order, it will go down. So let's already put it there. I prefer to go up, but I'll have to change some letters here. I don't bother with that. The important that they stick together like that. So the top one is correct, while the bottom one still is the old one with everything. If I want everything, I just have to make a multi-selection, select both. So what I do is select top, then I go bot, and I remove. Then the top is that, I lock, alright, it's already. And the bottom is that plus this and this will be shared, and this and this, and then assign and lock. Let's make sure everything is correct. Bottom, top, bottom, and top. Alright, this seems correct. So let's start working on the top one. Selection to protect this mesh. Then we have a pose here that allows us to visualize the mesh properly. Here there is some selection from this vertex group which has nothing to do with what we want. We'll pick deform bone for the eyelids, right? It's none of this. I have to show it here. What's going on with those? Oh, it's a pose. The pose is doing that, no matter. So this is the actual bone, and then we go on shortcut O for me on here. This is the selection I had. No, this is not the selection I had. Let's go back. Hold on. This is pretty simple. Vertex groups, yes. Then eyelids top. Here, then vertex. I probably have wrongly clicked and then I've lost the selection. So okay, is this bone, this is the top one for the inner side, and that's for the outer side. So probably I could augment. So now we use O. There we go. Here is our... As we can see here, there are probably some waves there, so we can invert the selection and take off everything that doesn't matter. So this could be a smart move. Let's take this off and use instead, let's see, I know I have a shortcut. What's happening? Okay, wrong move. There's a show wire thing which is Ctrl-Alt-Z, but I'm not being able to see it. For some reason it's not allowing me to... Oh, I see it on the mesh here, of course. We don't see the black area. Alright, so let's... I know this is probably wrong, but since we are here, let's erase these things. Then probably as I invert, if I re-blur here, that thing will reappear. So that should be normal to happen, so not a big deal. And we can of course do something like that. Lots of... Oh yeah, we can make this curve better. This is the domain of the outer side. How the influence of this? Let's... lot of blur. Let's blur a lot this thing. Then the corner, they can benefit a little. I'm not too much satisfied perhaps with that region here. I'm not sure if it requires any waves there, but yeah, let's leave like that. Let's leave that. Well, just... this shouldn't be a problem. Those very smooth out. Here I believe should be more. And okay, I should use some grid. You see that the protected one, we are seeing the wireframe, and while here is the one we're not seeing. So pretty annoying. Let's continue working here. I want to augment these waves here. This should be a critical thing for that bone. Maybe it should require more influence there. Okay, I'm probably exaggerating here, so let's... The problem is that I'm not able to see the vertices, so this is the annoying thing. I have to redo this thing very strong here. Maybe I could push, if it allows me to push and not erase the waves. It's difficult sometimes to understand how this thing orients the waves, but it's still workable. Now here, this is a problematic part. I can assure that this is probably not a true vertex. This should be one. Yeah, this is a true vertex. But then there's some confusion here that should be happening because of the hidden and some craziness going on there, but we'll see what that's about. Let's blur out this thing for now. We'll not using these mask options for a moment. Okay, so this is quite normal because this is just one of the bone handles. In order to know the complete pose for this, we also need to pose this bone. Although the waves is here in the bendy bone, in this system, we need to pose this one, otherwise we won't be able to make the proper expression. So here you see lots of... Okay, so I'm having some difficulty. Not difficulty, but yeah, it needs to go a lot down to have... It's not wrong, it's just that this bone is shrink wrapped, and therefore this probably goes beyond the limit it needs, so that's okay. But I would like that to be more... Yeah, so there's already lots of waves there. Maybe I need to improve the waves there after all. And of course, they are kind of stacking, right? This is dangerous. Starting to mess up the things, right? And we see that for these bones, there are no red waves there, right? So this is... we need to make this separation here. Yeah. Oh, I see. All right. They are inverted for some reason. So let's try to make some... This happening probably because of the eyelash stuff, right? All right, so let's see what... Yeah, maybe I would need to show the eyelash here, otherwise it won't allow me to... No, it's not... Yeah, don't bother about what's happening there. No, it's not on pose mode, it's... It's the mesh here. Well, I can unhide the mesh indeed. That will be very messy to see. I'll still have my selection, right? We'll see, maybe this helps. If it doesn't help, we just go back on what we're doing. We'll keep those meshes there, whatever, but then we have as a selection only the top eyelid. Okay. And now we go back. We need the selection of a bendy bone, like top 002. Yes, this is one of them. I'm not painting the... Maybe it's clearer to understand what's happening. Maybe now... Yeah, maybe now it shows, yeah. So okay, this is the... we cannot paint over the eyelash, that's good. And now we can see the... I hope we can see the proper vertices, even though it's really a mess, but we can probably... Oh, now I'm facing some issue there. Okay. I'm painting the wrong layer, the wrong vertex. Yeah. Okay, so this didn't help that much. Maybe at least for some of the vertices I can probably try to... Okay, so no. This is just too annoying. Let's go back on the original way. There should be a way to solve that. I'm concerned it's also the manifold thing. Don't know how much time I'll have to deal with that thing. It was not difficult to... At some point I started to have this issue. Alright, let's go back here and now At least I can pose, right? The collapsed mesh is really a problem to wave painting, right? If we want these distinctions properly. Well, at least the shape here is very smooth. Some interpenetrations there that we perhaps can avoid just by posing this bone little forward. We cannot just let it be like back this way. Well, we can, but sometimes can occur interpenetrations, but it's not so easy to have them happening. Okay, so if I move here, it does, but then it's just a question of maybe reposing these ones, and this one, two, no? Oh, this one. No, so this is telling that there are perhaps we should, well, the top eyelid wouldn't never go that far, never say never, but this concerns me a little. Maybe I should, because I cannot solve this interpenetration with other bones here. I can augment this offset, no, not eyelids border, this one, 0.32 to 0.35 maybe, yeah, 0.35, then I get here. This augments without much interference in the final shape. It provides additional security, right? So that's fine. Alright, so the shape here sounds smooth, so that is important. Let's see all that we can do. Yeah, mostly satisfying. I have some issues with that curve that is bulging in the middle in a way that doesn't sound very satisfying for the character design, unless this can't control very well this thing. So this is, again, this is just wave paint. Let's try to solve this with, so if I check both, you see lacking red here. I was struggling, of course, with, okay, I need the selection, hold on, edit mode, top one, there we go. Let's go back here again. Where is the bone? Is this one or is this one? It's this one. Okay, let's do an invert selection just as we did before, and let's erase, just in case, whatever external wrong ways that might be. Apparently there's nothing wrong outside. Alright, then we can invert the selection. Let's make some blurring. And yeah, the blurring here, does it make this worse or better? Worse, apparently. Yeah, so you should be extra careful about this blurring these critical areas. yeah, we can have some influence so far, so these shear waves can help in the smoothing. But the most important here is that we need, well, one of the most important things is that we must make sure that we dramatically wave only the ones in the borders. Yeah. This one is on the border? Yeah. Apparently, yes. It is doing this thing crazy because it's responsible for the top eyelash, and so it's like protruding outside. I'm pretty sure it's that, so it's not incorrect what it's doing. I need to be able to spread, and same for this. This is why wait, aren't there looping wrongly? No, that is apparently correct. Right, so I don't want... It seems like this is a bit confusing. I don't know which one is the one on the edge. I'm not certain about that, but it should be... Yeah, this one in the middle is a subdivision between them. It doesn't appear as a vertex. I cannot wave paint it. It's resistant to wave painting. And when I try to blur this out, it also resists to blurring. Maybe if I did some additional setting here, let's say if I hide the eye surface, maybe now I can wave paint from the opposite side, and I could fix this. We're gonna check that out. Doesn't seem to be helpful. What about for that one? Oh, hold on, maybe they are the same vertex. Maybe this is because of a stupid solidify modifier that has nothing to do with... Let's see if that's true. No, not true. Although it affects some vertices, is not the case here. Alright, there's no other solidify modifier, so this is not the case anyways. Alright, so this means those are individual vertices. Let's attempt blurring that. There's another way, right? If I could do that. And a long... I can try to spread them apart, and then I try to repaint on maximum. Now, no. I could use the... See how strange this is? Oh, I think this one was crossed. What's the next one? Here? Yeah, so some of them were making all this thing very worse. This is a critical one. So there's another way. Maybe I'm wasting too much time on this attempt. Why don't I just decollapse them, the top one, just a little from here, right? Let's attempt that, folks. Maybe that's will make tons of difference, right? I'll just make some tests here. We see what happens. Of course, this will change the rest pose slightly, but it's not. It doesn't mean that the eye won't be. We can have a better pose asset for the entirely open eyes, if that's the case. So that's not that critical. We just want some better distancing here. Let's see what that does. Will that help? Definitively this problematic of wave painting. Okay, so let's use this here. Why I have lost my selection, of course. So this system is really, masking system is not ideal. There are a lot of inconvenience, but it helps, right? We need this thing, so it worth learning about how it functions. Then we go back here. Where is the bone? Okay, we're starting working on this side. Then let's visually it seems to have made better distinction, but I'm not convinced. We'll need to try out by wave painting. Okay, definitely this seems to have improved. What about there? Oh, we can do that for these, the inner ones too, right? Alright, so let's do this for... Let's also do this decollapsing for the other ones. Should be useful. So this is something I didn't thought when I was developing this thing, and apparently it's very, very critical to design this thing from the mesh. Otherwise wave painting can become really... Oh, forgot the selection. Otherwise wave painting can become very painful for many reasons. Alright, so now, yeah, we see that the vertex seems more inclined to collaboration. Even though I'm not sure exactly what I'm wave painting there. I think this is not a correct one. I have to... Alright, so this sounds okay now, and we can have some waves until the end or not. Let's just push like this on a gradient. And then with blur, also I want to blur that one. Then blur everything there. Here maybe blurring too. Maybe here I would like to give more waves here. this went wrong. Okay, so blurring this way, okay. And then the rest seems easier. Yeah, we can get some blurring there. And for that part, maybe I can just subtract. This is too far away already from the inner top bone. Okay, here is fine. Just there, those ones I don't want. That sounds good. Now let's test some of these. Of course, I need to pause this one too. There's some shapes there which are a bit strange. Yeah, that part, but this might be because of this, of the other, could be many other deformed bones. Yeah, it looks terrible in some poses. I think it's this one. Yeah, it has some influence there and it's breaking the curve. So we got that. Let's give it a better pose. Spread this apart. Now let's get this bone and let's protect and let's start working. Yeah, these waves are all messed up, so let's... Oh, I cannot, I must take care about this. Yeah. Okay, so here we can blur a lot. We can try to use this to maybe this is affected by some lower bones, right? But here seems to be working. At least that part seems to be okay. More organized, right? It's just that I think this is from other rogue waves, right? Elsewhere. So mix. Let's reinforce these ones here. Could have slightly more. Here maybe, and then blurring this, blurring more. Okay, let's, I would like to have more influence there, but it's hard if I push too much. Start to have some crazy things going on, but it should be correct, so I need to insist in this and then fix that from whatever rogue waves it should have. I know this because I have experienced this already other times. Sometimes there's just, well, this is completely weird and nothing makes sense. It's probably rogue waves from another bone elsewhere. Okay, so now I'm experiencing this same problem again. Let's attempt this from the back part. Ah, now it's much better. I could try to use also that X-ray thing, right, for wave painting. Fall off, projected, I think. But then it would, well, my layers are probably that could work. No, even there it's not enough. Maybe I'm missing some option. Anyways, okay, so that seems to do some, at least working from behind here seems to help a little, but I don't need these sort of influences, high influences here, so this is really unrequired. Let's just smooth, let them be just smooth enough. Some gradual thing. Alright, now let's assess the rogue waves. Must be the case. Well, I have this. Yeah, so you see this probably. What if I delete here? No, doesn't seem to help. Then the other bone. Yeah, here I assume a lot of these are not required. So okay, couldn't find rogue waves for that part, but at least not for those bones, but I won't give up. I'll see every bone if there is something. So 3 bones, even the eyelash bones, although they probably have nothing to do with that. Where is the... Okay, I try to spot it. Okay, here is one. No. Here is another. And the last one. No. Maybe these bones. Yeah, they have some waves inside. This could be dangerous, even though very slightly. Yeah, I need to investigate this slight influence. So what I can do here is like I can pick the, go back to the mesh here and I select now both top and bottom, and then I can use this, and as I make this selection I press P, yeah, this is the inner selection. Then let's say, what if I, yeah, this is not randomly wave painted, it's just not very or well organized, but apparently it's not the responsible for that, at least not this one. We can try to making those smoothness here. This shouldn't be wrong, this should help actually the rig. So let's wave paint some stuff here. It's very small waves. Then for this one, and by the way, these vertices, they are of the eyelids mesh, they are shrink wrapped to the eye surface, so even if there are waves here, this shouldn't be very impactful to them, to that mesh. It will still be glued to the eye surface, so that's why it is not really relevant what I'm doing here. But it should make slight motion on the eyelash, and this is important for synchronized motion when we make the deforms. So this is a very important trick when we make this kind of integrated eyes rig, synchrony between the orbicularis oculi mesh around the eyes holes and the eyelids mesh, which is sort of a continuation, right? Here I could even, well, why not? Let's do that, blur more. Alright, that's it. There are more bones around on the surrounding. I'm exaggerating a bit, right? So that's fine. Let's do that and make some revisions here. This could stop by here, okay? And could get some more here, all right? And then I think we are back to where we started on here. So all right, it weren't rogue waves didn't come from any of these. All right, what about control bones? I probably get certainly not. These are non-deformed bones. So no rogue waves doing this madness. Oh, that's the beginning of the top eyelash. All right, so yeah, there we go. So how to avoid that? Well, first let me get this. Sorry, let's get some music, soundtrack music back. Let's return to our file here. And alright, so yeah, we don't see it very well because when the top eyelash is there, it doesn't seem very bad, although there is I could be wrong, but it sounds more natural because it's a brick in the composition. But yeah, there is some radical, it's not very smooth. Maybe this happened because I also took off that subdivision, right? So one thing that I could try to do again to solve this, I think I'll do this. I'll redistribute the mesh here, and then with snapping we'll try to push this down. It is snapping. And so what it does is that what it will do is that we'll be able to have the top eyelash starting a little more down, and so this redistribution of the mesh should help in the curve, as we see there. Apparently it helps a little. What about adding more, slightly more bendy bones here? Does it help? No, this doesn't help. It was 6, right? Alright. I could try to improve the wave painting. haven't even assessed the bottom eyelash yet, the bottom eyelid, but the motion seems fine still. Let's go on wave paint mode there, and where's the, okay, lost the selection naturally, is the eyelid top. Eventually get faster at this workflow. I could be working faster indeed, and so yeah, that's the top eyelash inner one. Okay, let's get, what about getting some more waves there? Is that logical? That's all. Oh, there's some, what's that? This vertex there is a bit, okay, that vertex is something related to this, I guess. Let's reset this, spread this apart. Let's investigate what's that's doing. Alright, so probably this is relevant, but not in this way. A bit lost now about this bone, this vertex. It doesn't seem necessary. Let's hide this thing. Ah, here. So this is the bottom, which is not the current selection that I have, but yeah, this is a bottom thing. Yeah, I see. It's the, it will be the continuation here. Alright, and so we can blur these things. This one needs complete influence. We'll be better able to, here I could also probably get some benefit from, not sure if this is a good idea. Let's just keep blurred that way then. Actually, I'm probably advancing here in the wrong setting, the wrong select. So let's, I'm still not working totally on the lower one. If I were to, I would need to do a proper selection, that selection here. And then we can see okay, so it goes until there, so yes, we can push this up to there, and here we can now paint, reinforce if required, those ones. Ah, I'm subtracting. Painting the wrong one. here, that one's stronger. Now here this could be just smoothing maybe. No. And here same problem. I need to reinforce this, but not that much, just yeah, could be that this is moving that awkward way because of the eyelash that we don't see here. Yeah, most likely that's it. So this is expected to happen. Here, let's, yeah, since we are here, let's blur some more. And let's go for the other outer one. See if there's anything that we can adjust here. Here, good ones to blur here since we're here. Let's leave this as they are, too far away. And these we could probably yeah, strange behavior of this mesh anyways. But eventually we can end up with a good result. Alright, let's see how it is behaving. I don't want to be looking at the eyelashes. So mask modifiers. Of course, if you don't see, then the gapping region becomes a little strange sometimes. You need to be aware of that, otherwise we can't make good assessment. Okay, so this is the top one, alright, and this is the bottom one, alright. And this is also the bottom one. We need to, so that corner here needs some, maybe this would be a case of mesh topology. I need to investigate this inner curve. This shouldn't be causing all this stuff here. This should be simpler, but at least the curves are matching potentially. Yeah, this is a good assessment, matching curves. They should easily be matching. I'm not saying they are easily matching. It's much easier to have this easy matching when the, well, you see that this outer corner is much easier to work out, right? For the closing eye, at least without the eyelashes. Then at least we have lots of shapes for the eyelids already, which seem to be, so here's the major problem I have right now is in this gapping region. So of course maybe it's because of that bone that was very wrongly posed. Let's see. Okay, so there's a ton of influence there which is not required. Yeah, it's making it curve, right? So this bone doesn't need all that influence there, no, neither that one, so we can, and here also it's affecting too much on the other side, so it's also not pushing the eyelid as much as I would like to, but this is the lesser problem, provided it can do some cool stuff with some variations of expressions, and now let's see if it actually has got this potential for let's attempt yeah, see, it's a bit hard, and in this case we might require this. It's kind of working. This is because of the eyelash mesh. It's a mess in terms of bones, but if the posing kind of works, right? So in principle, it's working. What's that? Let's reset this bone. I don't understand what it's doing. Yeah, this means this bone should go. Not a very cool expression, actually. I think it can become better, but let's see with the. Yeah, it's not very dramatic. This curve lacking waves there, so must take this into account. But for a character that has the other inverse shape of the sort of inverse, to make this with the eyelids already a lot, right? A lot of deforms working out. So let's go back to the. Let's check this. Yeah, of course. Why did I want to show the eyelashes? They aren't working even on normal expressions currently. Yeah, just to check out what was going on. Okay, so but useless, or at least irrelevant for the time being. But it was a. Oh, I remember why. It's just to see if that thing kind of disappear. It doesn't disappear, but it makes more sense right now. And just as that one should make more sense. Is this some sort of interpenetration? No, this is just the eyelids border looking from things up vision. All right. All right, but it's getting improved. The eyelids posable options, they are improving. We are getting some interesting results. So one thing that was relevant here, we can try to assess this immediately from this sort of pose that we are attempting, right? It will be a very non-intuitive eyelids pose for this eye, right? Cartoon eye, but it should be possible to do something like that. Yeah, very hard to obtain inverse curve. Not with these bones though. These ones. No, not these ones. These are eyebrow stuff. I mean, these ones. These ones are better for this. But it doesn't affect the eyelid expression. So let's mask again. If we look at the they have some, if we can avoid the interpenetration, right, they have some cool expressions going on there. They can go up there and they can do more dramatic effects, just not the pure eyelid. Yeah, the pure eyelid is, it's cool though, so I totally want this possibility. So this, yeah, there's some trouble here. I'm saving because this is very hard to achieve already. And now, what is the... Yeah, wave painting. Hold on, let's go on here. And it's the top eyelid. Yeah, top eyelid. So I need here. Let's select. They hate it. Always go down to somewhere else. I have to go up just to find that thing. All right. Go back on object mode. Then wave paint stuff. We need to find the bone here. Oh, I see. All right. So what can we work from this to make this workable? You see how this seems, if we have this influence here, this should be valuable actually. More influence here should be a valid, if only I could. And I can, yes, push this mesh, these waves. Not sure if the corner is exactly behaving. I don't know what's happening there, I mean, but at least yeah, it's like that. But it's messy. Oh, I see. Just follow that way. And then blurring out. Yeah, something like that. Maybe that's enough. Here we could try to maybe push. No. Yeah, what's clear is that I want more influence. The problem is that I cannot easily do from here to there. It's too risky. And if I start at a lower value, it already will paint the last one at a minor value. But we can try to, like, yeah, I know I'm messing up previous work. This is very, very annoying. So I go this, it doesn't work. Go this, doesn't work. I go this, doesn't work. Go this diagonal, that works, but not always. All right, let's try to blur now. Here, that part is critical. Let's see if I can do... I need to stretch that part. And there's also some small corrections I would like to do. Yeah, so I'm stretching these on purpose. To see if I can kinda put more waves there so that I can have a larger influence on that part to make this pole. I remember that the top is having too much influence on the bottom, so I must take care about the last ones. Maybe I should subtract that. Yeah, have it done for now. And so the last remainers would be these ones, right? And since I'm trying to augment the pole influence, I probably should do this kind of things here. I remember there's something about the outer corners that shouldn't have that much waves, but this was another problematic that perhaps right now I do not possess. Let's see if this improved the posing anyhow. Right now it looks very weird, right? But let's... It looks that we have... I'm being blocked here. No, I'm not being blocked. Yeah, at some point I cannot move up anymore. This is... Yeah, this is... Okay, the other side here also, it is valuable that I need to... Okay, of course there's, in this expression, there's something about picking the bottom side and like making some sort of crazy posing for them, like... yeah, it's too messy, but let me fix something before I forget, right? This stuff, right? And then I can blur this. Why not? Maybe never mind about what happened there. I actually should care about this particular one. Not multiply, it's mix. Yeah, okay. So these are dead. I could augment this destruction here, but then there's this one. Yeah, let's skip like that. So I'm reducing that part. Dead here. Dead here. And yes, here that's just the same story, right? But I could blur this, like, to try to get the minimum. And for the other side doesn't seem to be the other corner doesn't seem to be the... Okay, then here there are some waves that I need to adjust. We've made a lot of blurring, right? So let's see if we can... I'm not sure this is correct, because now having less influence there makes that this bone has a stronger... Yeah, so I want to pull that up, so there are some limitations there which are pretty clear. What is constraining this one? Let me reset the pose for a moment. And let's assess. Ah, this is much better. It is not smooth enough. Let's try to do some quick work here. yeah, it's difficult to understand here how to solve this. Maybe with that. No. Yeah, folks, that's very tough, but it's not impossible. There should be better ways. I just... Okay, blur that. This makes no sense to be broken like... Oh, it's because this curve, of course, is ridiculous. No. Some waves here might be wrong. Yeah, just smooth that out. Wrong pattern on the other bone. So now I'm gonna save because this is getting exciting. Yeah. This bone, bendy bone, right? It doesn't pull the mesh up enough. Why is that so? There's a lot of mesh here and it's not responding. This mesh, maybe I should add more, not only more waves here, but I mean more even another face loop perhaps. Another edge ring. I remember I've deleted one edge ring before to simplify, and maybe this was good for a moment, but then now this might be bad for some shapes that I'm desperately trying to make here. Same here with the lack of a better subdivision here. No, this is part of working. That thing is going smooth, alright. And this until this crack, but this is because of this is avoidable in posing, I guess. With more smoothing of the corners we can get this part better, but there's already a lot of smoothing. Definitely we're getting somewhere. Alright, so what is my plan here? Last attempt. Okay, so there is something about the subdivisions, right? Well, let's risk it. Put in there, whatever. If not, I just dissolve it. I don't think this will help at this stage. Maybe it can help avoid, yeah, this I know it helps in this mesh geometry, in this mesh topology. It will help avoiding some possible interpenetrations between the eyelids mesh and the eye surface mesh object behind. Not that I was having that a lot, but yes, having additional edge rings help. I have the impression that it's better, that the overall shape is better, but I cannot guarantee it. It's probably got some slight improvements. So I think I'll maintain that subdivision. Yeah, in principle I'm liking the results, so Folks, I think we are getting ready to the next stage, because all these efforts seem to be paying off. Retake efforts, right? Because actually I have everything that you see here, mostly I have had already working fine, and then because of my not stupid but recurrent decisions of retaking and making experiments on the same model, eventually I messed up everything. And now, okay, so this is a good way to see if the close eyelids can match. Yes, they are matching. So yes. Alright folks, so I'm gonna save here, and this is something about the pooling of the, this is incorrect. It's like maybe I required another eyelid mesh there that doesn't get pulled that much. Yeah, so this is, it's pulling other mesh into the eye. So this is there are wave painting, too strong wave painting there, but this is just a detail. I can fix this. It's not a big deal. If I just added, for example, the simplest solution, maybe add another outer edge ring for the eyelids mesh, and then take off some radical waves from the outer part that is contaminated. It's already the skin. So let's see what I can do next now, because we are about to go to the next level. Let's see my list of some annotations that I have here. Okay, so there are the eyelids posing. I think they are mostly good, so I have to fix that thing, right? That pulling mesh here. Let's see if it's happened for the bottom one as well. Yes, it's also happened, but it's not very great. So this is too much influence on the outer edge ring. And okay, so this is one thing. Hold on, let me. Okay, one thing to fix. Then another is the, I think I'm satisfied with the way the eyelids are deforming. This is workable, even though there are some things that could be smoothed out. I would have done this if it wasn't so hard to be smoothing out those simple vertices. It makes no sense to me. It would have been much easier to solve that. I don't remember to have that much difficulty before. So this is alright. So eyelids I consider complete, so I need to solve. I could smooth out for final result, but that's not interesting enough in my opinion. Then there is the eyelashes. We'll have to assess the eyelashes. for that. So currently the eyelashes, they are moving, they are nearly working fine, but there are some, same as the eyelids, they have some incoherences, non-smoothness somewhere. Sometimes their sizes, there are some interpenetrations, sometimes. So tiny, minute things, but take some time, but I know how to solve it. Changing some shapes, as addressing their bone constraints, and that's it. So fixing also fixing the eyelash for the main pose, especially the closed eyes and the open eyes and whatever other pose that might be relevant. So you see, that's already pretty fun to pose this thing, make facial expressions, even though only eyes expressions here. I think this. Okay, so eyelashes. Eyelash shapes, closed, open, and etc. And then finally for this, this should be okay. The main controller is not gonna address this. Then if there are minor things to do that is out of listing, I could be okay if I just fix the eyelash and the rest of the eyelids, and then that would be it. Maybe that will be a last video. I could conclude that. And actually the real challenge, I think when I have cleared out these eyelash things, then we'll be ready to make this challenge here for the eyes only. Eyebrows, eyes, all this stuff. We'll see, and we'll be taking screenshots. We'll see if we can reproduce some of those expressions. Eyes expressions, right? So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something from that, and can have some insights perhaps in your rigging projects or character making projects in Blender, or perhaps another 3D software, I don't know. And see you next time. Take care. Happy blending.